Out here, the day calling is action-packed and the night is alive. Welcome to the Eastman's Predator Pros, the podcast dedicated to all things predator hunting, from coyotes and bobcats to coons and foxes and the folks who live for the call. I am Corey Groff, a lifelong hunter and outdoorsman, and every other week we'll break down the tactics, tips, and gear for your next hunt and the science behind the predators we pursue. This is the podcast for hunters who live for the call, the setup, and the shot. Well, for any of you guys that don't really know, I really enjoy shooting. I'm a huge varmint rifle fan, and I've got all different kinds of rifles and platforms, calibers, and I've been shooting and loading the Hornady VMAX for years. The VMAX line of bullets, they're just perfect for varmints and predators with the accuracy and the expansion, that I'm looking for in a bullet at any range. So you guys head on over today, check them out at Hornady.com. On this episode of the Eastman's Predator Pros, I've got John Collins from Foxpro Incorporated. John and I, we've been good friends for quite some time. And this episode, we don't really deep dive into too much. We talk about John's career a little bit, tell some hunting stories from recent hunts, and just have a good time. Sit back and have a nice conversation. So let's get right into the podcast. All right, guys, I'm joined today by John Collins. Hey, and John, how you doing, old buddy?
I'm doing good. How about you, Corey?
Oh, I can't complain. I don't guess. This weather's not really coyote hunting weather here in southern Missouri right now, but I can't complain nonetheless. How's everything out your way?
Hey, I heard somebody say that today here at home. It was close to 70 degrees a day. I was like, man, here it is, January. Can't call up no coyotes with it being 70 degrees. I actually like this weather, as long as it ain't trying to blow the house down and it ain't just absolutely pouring rain. I'm gonna call coyotes. I'd actually rather call coyotes in mid 60s, 70-degree weather than I would single digit temps. They're gonna come just the same for me. So
Oh yeah.
might as well feel good doing it, right?
Oh, I agree. The weather's almost too nice, in a lot of ways, but kind of like this evening, I'll just kind of, go over my stand this evening. It's so nice that everybody wants to be out, so
yeah.
I'm trying to call and somebody's working on their loud pickup about a mile and a half away, and you can hear people out talking and whatnot, but we've called coyotes like that, ain't we? I mean, it's just
they're used to it.
They hear the same thing every day, but yeah, it's I would like to experience a little bit of winter weathers at some point, this year, but
I've killed a handful of coyotes and some little dustings of snow already. We had a little bit of snow back in November, which is not super rare, but it's not, not a common thing either. So I've already had my fill of that.
It doesn't.
I'm actually ready for turkey season. I ain't gonna lie. Talking about the warm weather and the pretty weather, and you know where I'm at. You've been here to my house.
You betcha.
Oh, they was turkeys talking back here this morning. I mean, burning the woods down, buddy. I guess they like the pretty weather too.
Yeah, I've actually. What evening was it? It's Sunday evening, maybe. Sunday or Monday evening, I killed that bobcat, and before I got into my stand, there was just a pasture road, going into the place, and it was full of turkeys. And one of them, they was trying to run off, and one of them, he was, kind of trying to get all puffed up while they were running off. And I'm like, yeah, they like
probably
too.
Probably reason that cat was in there. I know here around home, a lot of time when you get these winter flocks of turkeys hanging around some of this good habitat for bobcats, you'll probably find one because I don't know if it's just coincidence, but it almost seems like when you got a good winter turkey flock, you're gonna have a bobcat hanging close because it's easy pickings for them.
Oh yeah, and that was that was what kind of lit my eyes up, when I pulled in there. That I had that exact thought on my mind
Mm-hmm.
that, it just kind of goes hand in hand with a bobcat. Seems like they like to be around them,
Oh yeah, yeah. And
try
over
to
the
prey
years,
on them.
I found, I'll find some dead turkeys from time to time, or a murder scene. I like to say, where one's being caught. And I tell you what, I found a lot more what I know is a bobcat kill versus other predators. There's been several times I've went through the woods and found, you'll see this hump of leaves. You're like,
Yep.
what in the world is that? And sticks and stuff. And you go over there, and all of a sudden you see some turkey feathers, and what it is where a bobcat has
Buried
caught a
it.
turkey and then
Yep.
buried it. I've
Yep.
even went just to verify it. I've actually hung trail cameras on those spots before, and sure enough, you might find it in the afternoon, and it ain't much. It ain't much after sunset, after darkness falls. That cat's there on it, digging
Oh
it
yeah.
back out, and getting a little meal.
About 10 years ago, I called in probably one of the biggest bobcats I ever seen. I would have loved to had killed him because I would have loved to put him on a scale. I'm pretty positive he'd have been the biggest bobcat I'd ever killed. But anyway, early morning stand, first light, start calling, and immediately this cat shows up. Like I'm talking within 10, 15 seconds. And I spot him up on a blow down. It was just an old blow down piece of timber, and he got right on top of it. Anyway, he hopped off of it and he was leaving. He really wasn't interested in the call. And I was shooting it's probably been longer than 10 years ago. I was shooting a 222,
Oh
and
man,
this cat was maybe 70 yards. And if you have any experience with a 222, them things shoot. I mean, they
man. Not to cut you off on your story, but I couldn't tell you the last time I heard somebody bring up the 222. But
I,
continue. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I still got it. It's in my safe. I don't hardly ever shoot it. But anyway, cat jumps off that log and he's, like I said, he's leaving. And boy, I pull up on him, give him a lip squeak. He stops. I put it right on his shoulder, pow. And he runs off. And man, you just hear this big crash, and I thought, man, he's piled up right there. Get down there, and there's a woven wire fence there. And I'm like, looking around, I'm like, I don't see no cat, and so I walked down the fence about 20, 30 yards, and on the opposite side of the fence, here's this big pile of leaves. I got to looking at that, and I could see a deer's nose sticking out from underneath it, and it was a that year's fawn is what it was, but
Yeah.
that cat had killed that deer
Yeah.
and buried it right there, and I know that's why I called him in so fast. But anyway, I missed that cat, John. I really don't know how, other than I went back and I looked, and there was like some just little oak sprouts that was kind of scattered right at the edge of that field. I'd say I
Yep.
probably hit one because that thing is a tack driver, but
What is it? A Model 700? What is it?
model 700. Yep.
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 Yeah.
I got
Oh,
that thing.
it was all on you, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted one of those things real bad, and I seeked out and found one. Actually, there's a guy in Pennsylvania that had it in a safe. He told me he bought it back in the late 70s.
Yeah.
May have shot a box of shells through it, and I still got it. It's a beautiful gun. Yeah.
Yeah, those are one hole rifles. I mean, I think, Dad used to talk about them all the time. He said, if you're gonna have a bench rest rifle, that's what you shot.
Right.
I've never even shot one. I've been around them, but known people that own them and stuff, but I've never had one personally. But yeah, there's some pretty big I don't know, accuracy, pretty hyped up stuff about a 222 over the years. So it's cool that you brought that up, because I hadn't heard nothing about a 222 in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I always wanted one, and of course I'm a varmint rifle fan. I've got all different kinds of calibers, in that 22 range.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know
But
me. I like that 22 stuff.
yeah. But talking about bobcats, how many have you killed already this year?
Man, not many, just two. I thought I was going to have here at home. I thought I was going to, which here in my home state of Kentucky, in a bluegrass state, we're actually only allowed to kill 3 a year. Our
Right.
season comes in right there mid-November, and it goes through February, so it's still in. But I was deer scouting pretty heavy, trying to kill me a buck, and I always run a lot of trail cameras. And 2 years ago, that's how I found a lot of cats. Is I would actually put cameras out specifically for bobcats here. We've got a decent population, but we're not just absolutely covered up with them. Hence, being able to kill 3 a year. So I mean, it makes sense, right? So I always try to pride myself on being able to tag out on bobcats in Kentucky because there really wasn't many people that did it. So I thought that, if I could tag out on bobcats, that was a big deal to me. I mean, I just like killing a 200-inch deer, But yeah, this year I thought early on I was going to have a lot of cats because when I was, like I said, running trail cameras for deer, I was getting bobcat pictures almost every place I was putting cameras out at, and it's a bunch of places. I'm talking about a dozen spots, and man, it ain't gonna be no big deal. And sure enough, when bobcat season come in, after I filled my buck tag and our deer rifle season and stuff was over with, I started tearing in on them, and I knocked 2 of them down quick. I said, man, I'll tag out before Christmas. I ain't seen one. After I killed that second cat, I hadn't seen one since. And I was actually thinking, I was talking to some boys up at the office at Foxpro. I said, you know what? I want to resort back to some old tactics, put some cameras out or something, see if I can't find me another cat. But yeah, killed 2. Traveled around a little bit, went out to Kansas, and I usually kill at least 1 cat on my wintertime Kansas trips, but I didn't see no cats out there, and that's super rare. There's been times when I went out there for a 2 or 3 day trip and call in 2, 3, sometimes even 4 bobcats. Right. I've never killed 4 bobcats on a 3 day trip, but there's been times where I've killed 3, and we didn't see the first one, and I haven't seen one here since that second cat, but the 2 cats we have killed here, of course, daytime cats. It's the only time you're allowed to hunt them here in Kentucky. Tremendous call-ins. One of them was actually a bobcat coyote double. Killed the cat pretty much right off the bat within the first few minutes to cagey cottontail, which I've always said is probably the greatest bobcat calling sound ever recorded. Foxpro's cagey cottontail. Come right out to that. After I got the bobcat knocked down, he come out there, creeped in about 14 steps, I think, where I pasted off from the X24 and X decoy. Knocked it down. I said, well, I might as well see if there's any coyotes around, and I switched right over into MFK table scraps, and I'll be daggone. I'm still not sure how many coyotes I caught in. I know it was at least 3, and it might have been 4 coyotes come rushing in. Of course, they bum rushed me, kind of got western very, very fast. If I was just calling and killing, I'd have probably killed at least 2 of them, but I was trying to film some. But anyway, I ended up getting one of them out there stopped and got a good shot in it. Got me a coyote bobcat double. Awesome stand. It's one of those stands that I'll probably never forget, Right. And wasn't a week or so later, I can't even remember now. Another spot not too far from that one, a farm. Got into another cat. It was a spot that had been logged this past year, actually last year, and then through the summer and stuff, it grew up briars like crazy, just got super thick. And when I went to hunt this place, I said, you know what? I've never killed a bobcat here, but I think if I was ever going to do it, it's going to be this year. And I'll be dang. First stand in there, I set up on this little ridge that's got a big draw to the left and a draw to the right. Both those draws had been logged. It goes out of pasture field ridge and drops off in a huge holler that those 2 drainages feed off into. I played cagey cottontail, 4 or 5 minutes, switched right into Mrs. McCottontail, and right out in the middle of that daggone pasture field ridge, her come a really nice cat, upper 20s cat. I'm trotting right up through the middle of that place, mid-morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I think I shot him like 5 steps from the X24 and X decoy. It is an awesome stand. So the 2 cats I have killed have been spectacular.
Well, it's kind of been the same way for me. Cats just really haven't been coming like they normally do for me, especially through the month of December, which I've been a little bit busier this year than I have in the past. So I haven't been able to call as much as I have like I said in the past, but right off the bat, when I decided, December, I'm going to start, cat calling, I called in a cat and did not know he was there. I knew there was a cat around there. Like perfect setup, just like what you were saying. Over on the neighboring property, it's just thick with briars, just recently been logged within the last couple of years. And
that's what they love. That's what they love. It's hot
yeah.
spot.
And it was a creek system right there. So there was water, I mean, it just perfect, whatever, everything you needed. And immediately when I turned the call on, I could hear the birds just ranting, just going like crazy. And you could just, hear it just
moving with. Yep.
So I knew there was a cat there, but I had the sun hitting to just beating down on me, and that cat seen me before I could get a shot at it. But what happened was, I think it was a mama and a little one. She took off. I seen her like right about the time I laid eyes on her, turned the camera. She's like, I'm not having this. She dipped off in that creek and got out of there. Well, about that time, I seen another cat pop up, and I know it wasn't the same cat. It was just a lot smaller cat. But anyway, that cat come into, I think, well, I know I was playing Missing the Cottontail to start with, and Missing the Cottontail and Cagey Cottontail. So.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before on past podcasts, Corey, but we always talk about having a cat comes out after a sound change. But I'm telling you, I'm a firm believer, even though they come out on that sound change, they were initially coming on that first sound that you played.
You betcha.
Because, I mean, I know it depends on if you're calling at night, what part of the country you're calling and stuff like that. But for me, calling east of Mississippi type stuff and that Midwestern stuff like Kansas, Oklahoma, that type country, man, I kill most of my cats within 8 minutes. It ain't none of that 45-minute jump. It's if they're there, they're coming. They're coming.
And they'll beat a coyote. Well, I mean, just like your scenario, they'll beat a coyote usually to the call. I mean, if they're within an earshot, for sure.
Hey, that coyote bobcat double here, that just those coyotes wouldn't have come to the prey distress. They wasn't going to come. I'm a firm believer that I could have played 2 or 3 more prey sounds. They wasn't going to come. But when they heard that coyote fight, here they come, buddy.
Yeah, they was right there, wasn't
they? Because that's an odd thing. I mean, I've killed some coyotes this year at home to prey distress, but they've not been coming to prey very good. They like the vocals this year for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like I said, we have killed some. Have not killed the first coyote in Kentucky to a bird sound, which is odd. I usually rack them up on woodpeckers and stuff like that. Every one of them has come to a cottontail rabbit sound that has showed up to prey, but the vast majority has been vocals, even through the the pup dispersal and all that. So kind of odd, a little bit of an odd year. Killing plenty of, but
it is. It's definitely because I like this time of year. I'm prey heavy. I'm thinking bobcat every stand, and most of my stands are bobcat stands. That's what I'm going in there to set up for. And but I've had kind of the same experience with the coyotes that I have killed in. Called in and killed. They've been really late in the stand. Past that 15-minute mark, and just they're real cautious. They're not really charging the call or anything like that. They're just coming in to investigate more or less. But I called I called in a coyote last week to some woodpecker sounds. Actually, it was a shotgun stand. It was a pretty neat stand, I tell you this. So like I said, I go in to set up for bobcat, and it's real thick in there. I'm on the edge of this hillside, and it's just cedar thicket just all through it. And I just found an open spot in that cedar thicket that I had about a 35-40 yard shot. Like I said, had shotgun with me, and I'm thinking about moving. I've been there, like I said, about 16 17 minutes, somewhere's in there, and I'm thinking about moving on down to another spot. About that time, I hear this coyote bark, and it, like, you can tell when a coyote's pissed off, by their bark. And it just one bark. And I thought, man, I'm looking around. I'm like, man, I'm tucked back in the cedar. Like, I know that coyote didn't pick me off here. Like, what's going on? And so I'm kind of looking over my shoulder, kind of the wind's, going that direction. About that time, this coyote comes right out of the brush, right in front of me, 5-6 yards. And I tried to milk it as much as I could, to get a little bit better footage. And she turned up the hill, seen me, and I went ahead and shot her. But she was a woodpecker stand. Yeah.
Oh,
Come in
really?
on it. Yeah, but like when she come into the call right there in front of me, she was still mad. She was all fluffed up, hackled up, and kind of huffing and carrying on. I don't know what she didn't like about that X24, but she did
Right.
not like it.
It happens from time to time. I will.
Yeah.
I will tell you. I will tell you something pretty cool. Well, I don't know if it's cool or not because I can't really prove it. Um, but something I've kind of thought of is you're talking about coyotes on bobcat stands. There's been many occasions where I've called coyotes and bobcats on the same stand, and there's
Right.
been several of them where I've killed both on the same stands. One thing that I got to thinking about after that bobcat coyote double, we're talking about that coyote barking. I've never heard a coyote vocalize on a stand where I've caught a bobcat. It's almost like they know they're there. I'm not saying they don't howl because of it, but it's just an odd coincidence. I was thinking about that the other day. I've killed, there's been times I've called in, have killed a couple coyotes on a kill a bobcat and kill two more coyotes. That's happened a couple different times. And there's been many occasions where I've called just a single coyote and a single bobcat, of course. And there's been times I've called them both and didn't get neither one of them killed. I mean, there's been several occasions, but and a lot of times I might play vocal. There's been times where I'll start off howling and then go into prey distress and call a bobcat up, even after
Right.
I've howled. But
Yeah.
I've never had a coyote answer any of my coyote vocals when a bobcat has shown up, which I think is kind of might be coincidence. I don't know, but
It is pretty interesting though. There probably might be something to it.
I mean, I'm talking about stands where I know there was a coyote there because I vocalized and a bobcat came and then later called coyotes
Mm-hmm.
or called them at simultaneously.
It kind of, when you talking about that, it kind of brought me back a memory of a bobcat I called in, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I was pretty prey heavy start of the stand, and I don't know, 12-15 minutes went by, and I thought, I'm gonna see if I can't howl up a coyote here. I hit the howl, and a bobcat just stands up right next to the X24. They ain't no telling how long it'd been there.
Yeah.
There was we got that what we call yellow sage grass around here, and
Broom sedge.
yeah, broom sage, and that
Yep.
that pasture was full of it. But
Yep.
and I could see through that field pretty good, but there was just just
Yep.
plots of it out in there. But
I
yeah,
called a place just like that this morning. Had the same stuff in it.
yeah, we got a lot of it here, and of course I know it's all over the country, but yeah. So no bobcats in Kansas.
None, and that shocks me because there's been times it's kind of saved us on trips where coyotes not coming really good, and then we can get into 2 or 3 cats, and it makes for a pretty good show and stuff. But Kansas was a little slow, but it was when we went. It was right after the rifle season went out, which that's usually when we go. So it's
Right.
nothing with the time frame, but it got bad windy and it got bad warm. Not that bad warm bothers me. I talked about that starting off. I just assume hunting was warm. But I think a combination of the wind and the increase in temperature, it just turns stuff off. But we killed some coyotes, but the cats just did not come. And usually we're seeing them. Usually we have some really good cat stands in Kansas.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I plan on going out there here, and I think the weekend after next. So I'll try to hopefully I'll give you a good report on.
I hope you pile them up.
I actually went last weekend, and what I didn't realize was Kansas had an extended doe season, and so I get out there and getting ready to start calling, and I was like, "Hey, I better look this up." And sure enough, it was in that unit I was in. it was an extended season. I'm like looking around the truck. I ended up having an orange hat, but I didn't have an orange vest. So I had to drive around half the
Yeah.
morning until I found me an orange vest because I didn't want to just turn around and come back home. But
Right. Yeah.
ended up, I don't know if there was people hunting in several different places. So I stayed till about noon and come on back home. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, always check your regulations before you leave the house.
Oh, and there's stuff like that, which I know it don't bother some people, but these deer seasons and stuff, they only come in once a year and it's usually in for a short time. So you might as well be considerate to everybody else, if they're trying to in there,
Oh yeah.
try to kill a deer, heck, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Let them get that done. You come back some other time.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't dare walk in on somebody where they was in their deer hunting,
Yeah.
even if it's just doe season. But
I
yeah.
feel the same way if I was in there coyote calling or whatever, and then some deer hunter was going to come walk right through my coyote stand, I'd be a little upset.
Oh yeah. 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 But you got what's the rest of your year look like?
Well, I'll probably just dabble around here at the house a little bit. It's pretty beat up here. I've killed a lot of coyotes here at home.
Yeah, you've had a real good year, looks like.
Yeah. So I mean, I've hit it pretty hard. And then the night season has come in here in Kentucky. We don't have a huge, a big night season, but it keeps the popularity of it increases every single year, it seems like. And time I've hit them pretty hard, then the night crew starts hitting them pretty good. It starts becoming pretty slim pickings. And I don't know if you know it or not, Corey, but hey, I'm a night hunter now.
I know that.
I'm a night hunter. I mean, I got a scanner right here in this disc I can show you. But so I've actually went out and killed a handful at night too, just trying to get my feet wet on that. And so we've killed some coyotes at night. So they've been hit. They've been hit plenty hard here. But yeah, probably call a little bit more here. Like kill that third cat, like tag out on cats here in Kentucky. Yeah. But here in just another week or two, probably less than 2 weeks now, I'm gonna go to Florida. Got a buddy down there, and I've hunted with him before in the past. I went down there hunting with him last year, Jeremy Mayfield, down there around Okeechobee. Yeah. And we're gonna do some hunting. I'm actually taking, and you've been around this young man, taking little Jace Dillon, Mike Dillon's youngest son, with me. It hopefully get him his first Florida coyote. And I know everybody's probably thinking, Florida? I'm already gonna go to Florida and coyote hunt. Let me tell you, hey. If you vacation to Florida, you've probably been at the beach or Disney World or Universal or SeaWorld, all that type of stuff. You get in the middle of that state where they've got cattle, beef cattle and dairy. It's a whole nother world. And I tell you what, it is game rich. They have got the coyotes. They got bobcats too. So that's what I'm going to be doing here in a couple of weeks. Then get done with that. I'll come home for a few days, and then I'm actually going to hook up with Mr. Tory Cook of MFK Game Calls, and we're going to go out and see Chris Robinson of the Night Crew and hang out with him for a couple of days and see if we can kill us some Texas coyotes.
There you go. You guys do that trip every year, don't you?
Yeah, this will be, man, might be our 4th time we've done it.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth. I know it's been at least 3. I bet this is going to be our fourth trip doing that, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll be looking forward to that episode because that's always a good one for you guys. Seems like.
I know. We talked about doing a shotgun only episode last year. We kind of talked about it. I don't know if that's what they're wanting to do or not, but I don't care to shoot them with my rifle if they want me to bring my rifle. So
that's funny you mentioned Florida. I had Jeff Thomason on here 8 or 10 days ago. And he talked about Florida. He's like, man, he said, that's really one of them sleeper states for coyotes. He
man, they really got it. It is crazy. I never would have thought it. But I remember working the check-in at the Eastern Coyote Tournament a few years ago, and that was a big deal. And it was a big deal. Tons of teams all over from East Mississippi. If you placed in that tournament, you did something. I mean, you really did something. And what's crazy was what you'd see some top teams come in, checking a ton of coyotes, and guess where they come from? Florida. Then around Florida and Georgia and all that stuff. And I was like, why not? Ain't no way they bring all them coyotes. They was. Yeah, they got them, buddy. They got coyotes down there.
That's interesting.
You wouldn't ever think it, but they do.
Yeah, they got pythons and stuff down there too.
The heck with that stuff. I don't want none of that, but I ain't much on snake. But
You ain't gonna go python hunting while you're down there?
nah, heck no. I see a snake, I'm going the other way, running.
Yeah, that surprises me out of you.
Nah, I don't like no snakes.
Old farm boy like you. Hell, you probably back in the day when you was running all that equipment, you probably had a few on the riding on the piece of equipment.
Man, I'd veer off and run over a snake every chance I got. I see one. I got a funny story. One of the places we used to lease, or Dad used to lease, I ain't leased nothing. Dad's a cattle farmer, still is today. You all, anybody that's ever listened to anything I've ever been on, you know that. But he still leases a little bit of ground, but used to lease ground all over the surrounding 3 counties to put beef cattle on. And I remember we was cutting hay off this one place. Anyway, late summer, I went down there to Ted hay, if anybody knows what Ted and hay is. But I'm in an open station tractor and going through there, and all of a sudden I see something skidding off, just like right underneath of me, Damn snake, big and too. And of course, I go over top of it, and I think, oh man, that tedder's behind me. Them tedder, it goes, it goes in circles and slings hay to scatter it out for dry out. Man, I stomped on the clutch, stomped on the brakes, and actually locked that tractor up and skidded that tedder into that snake, and it grabbed it. And sure enough, my worst fear, it slung that thing right up on the fender, smack, bam, smack. Damn copperhead. I like to freaking died. Anyway, it killed it, luckily. And I stopped and backed up in there. Copperhead, about a 5-foot copperhead. I don't know. A lot of people like 5 foot ain't very big. 5-foot copperhead's a snake, buddy.
That's a pretty.
Things, you talking about losing a limb if one of them bites you.
I ain't never seen a 5-foot copperhead. That's a big copperhead.
I say 5 foot. It was over 4 foot. It was. And I remember we measured. It was 4 foot something. I got to stretch it out. We want to talk about snake. You're going to talk about snake. It's big around your leg, and
right,
8 foot long. But it was over 4 foot. No joke. No joke. It's a big old snake. Nasty thing. Yeah, I don't like snakes.
All right, guys. Real quick, let's talk about some Kryptek camo. When I'm slipping into my stand, whether it's a fence row, brushy draw, or hunting out in open country, especially this time of year, I really like the Kryptek Highlander. I really like calling my predators in close, and that means my camo has to work. If you're serious about predator hunting, whether it's close or long range, head on over to Kryptek.com and check out the Kryptek Highlander series of camo today. Well, I'm looking forward to, and I know we talked about this here a while back, and both our schedules are pretty busy come next month, but I'd really like to get that raccoon trip worked out.
Yeah.
I hope we can make that work, because man, I have got a spot now. It's gonna be dynamite.
If we don't work it out, we'll definitely hard schedule it for next year for sure, because that is something. And that's another thing. Just like talking about Florida, people think like, oh, we coyote hunt Florida. We're probably sitting there thinking, why are you talking about raccoon hunting? Listen, if you have not called for raccoons, when them things are coming good, I just assume call for them as call for coyotes or anything.
They're crazy little boogers.
You might not consider them as much of a trophy, but it is fun. Man, it's so much fun, because when they're coming, it's fast paced. There's none of that checking up. I mean, when they come, they're coming to tackle the call. They're coming to kill something. Yeah. They're coming to whoop something. It's fun. It's good stuff.
It's some of the funnest calling I think I've ever done. And like I said, here in Missouri, we actually got a summertime season for nest raiders. And we went up, or I went up to this place that I'd like to take you. Back in the summertime, went and hunted with a good friend of mine up there and his 2 young boys. And I like picking on these 2 boys. They're good kids. He's got 3 boys, but the 2's they're the hunters out of the 3. And these little turds, John, oh my goodness, you'd have laughed. They
Well, I
couldn't
saw the
hit.
video clips.
Oh, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
That's
But
all right. That's all
in
right.
their defense, they was leading every one of them coons, and them coons, like, they dart and turn, especially after
Zigzagging. Yeah.
especially after they'd run over that, the X360 like they was doing, and it was just dumb luck. And like I said, I like to pick on them boys. Every time I go up there, hey, we're gonna go coon calling. Yeah, let's go. You gonna hit one this time?
Yeah.
But I think we called in like 14 or 15 coons.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 95-degree weather. I mean, it was
Oh, yeah.
good
They'll
calling.
come.
Yeah.
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 In the middle of the day. Everybody thinks
Yeah.
about a raccoon being a night creature, which they are. But man, you can call them right out of them den trees. And they say summertime's the best time to call them.
I believe it.
But
I
yeah,
believe it.
yeah. I'd be looking forward to that. I don't know if we can get it worked out this year, but we'll hard schedule it for next year because that is good stuff right there. And anybody that's listening that has never tried it, even though you might be turning your nose up at it, give it a whirl. Give it a try. If you get into them where they're coming, you'll like it. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
Well, Foxpro's got some of the best content out there for some coon calling that we've ever seen. I've got a little bit on my Instagram. You guys check it out. It is a blast. You'll love it. If you ain't never done it before, get your call out there and go, because it is a lot of fun. And what
I'll
I
tell you
like
another
about
good thing about it is it don't take much time to call them in. I mean, like I said, it's a fast paced deal if they come, but it's fast paced calling style too. They're not going to come late in the stand. They're either going to come that first within 6 or 8 minutes. If you don't have nothing coming within 6 to 8 minutes, grab that call up and move 300 yards and call again. They won't come from a long ways off, and when they come, they usually come pretty quick. So it's fast paced all around. It's a fast paced calling style. You don't sit on stand very long, and you don't have to move very far. And when they do come, they're rushing in.
They're rushing in. And another thing, what I like about it, especially like with, me talking about them young fellers we took, that's a good way to introduce, kids into calling, because the coons, if the wind is right and they smell you, they're going to turn and burn, but they're not trying to work the wind like a coyote's going to. So if you got young people you want to get out and introduce calling to, that is probably the best way to introduce them to calling.
Yeah, and another thing too, if they miss a raccoon, they probably ain't too tore up about it.
Yeah, nobody's tore up about
it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that a raccoon probably educate to some of that, but it's not.
Oh, they do. They're smart critters.
Oh yeah, but it's not as serious as like what it would be for somebody that's going to educate a coyote.
Nah.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. We're going to change gears here a little bit, and I know you probably get this question a lot, so I'm not really going to ask it as far as a timeline or anything like that. The X360s come out, the X48's soon to come out one of these days. Like I said, I don't want to get into that conversation just because where, like, in your opinion, and I'm not trying to peel any trade secrets out from you or nothing like that, but where do you see the market going in the next year or two with the way the calls and stuff are starting to be, designed and put out?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. There's some pretty sophisticated stuff out nowadays. Just like you brought up that X360. That thing it has so many features. I don't even know how Mike thought up all the stuff that he did. And it's useful stuff. It's not just thinking up stuff just to have it. I mean, it's all got a purpose, and it can all help you call more coyotes, more bobcats, more fox, whatever you're after. It can help. It will put more fur in the truck, no doubt about it. But it's hard for me to, like when we come out with X waves, the X24s and X2Ss, I thought the same thing, and I was like, man. They ain't never
going to get any better.
ain't never nothing gonna ever top this. And then, Mike and Steve and them dreamed up the X360, and like you said, X48, it's coming. It'll be out here. Hopefully, I'm hoping within the next 3 weeks. We'll see. It's got some kinks to work out with some code, but it'll be here before you know it. But you're talking about ultrasonic, 32-bit audio, play two sounds at once, and you can play two sounds at the same time and adjust the pitch
Yeah.
up and down of both individual sounds. Just think about it, on the same screen. Do it on the fly, just quick as snapping your fingers. Stuff like that is just insane to me to think about. What is on the horizon is, my mind don't work that way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at thinking up new stuff, but I do know that there is stuff cooking. I will tell you that.
Oh, I figured.
And like I said, every time I think it can't get no better, it seems like it does. And if I know, which I do know, Mike, it'd be something that's going to impress you. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Mike is,
we've not hit the peak. Let's say that we have not hit the peak.
Well, that's good because, and I understand there's a lot of guys that don't care for the bells and whistles. Hey,
Right.
if that's not what you want in a call, man, there are so many other units to choose from that don't have those. So,
and that's the thing, and that's our goal at Foxpro. We want to put products out there, electronic calls that meets everybody's budget, their calling style, just like you said. Not everybody wants all the bells and whistles. Well, we've got units that don't have all the bells and whistles.
Right.
You can still get a unit that's got all the bells and whistles, but you don't have to use it. You don't have to use all of them.
That's right.
But we want to match your budget, your calling style, and just whatever's going to help you call in more animals for you. We've got tons of different units. We've got the Prowler, the Hellcat Pro, the X-Wave, the Shockwave, the X24, X360, and we're fixing to drop the X48. So if you cannot find an e-call unit in that lineup that works for you, then you didn't look hard enough. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to, seeing what the future is going to hold for this sport because it's growing really, really fast, especially with how, thermals are, getting more affordable. There's a lot more people out in the field.
Yeah.
And, getting back to the night hunting thing, you're a night hunter now, so you can relate,
Yeah.
I dabble in it a little bit. I don't, it's definitely more fun to do with, some of your buddies. It's pretty boring if you're, out there at night by yourself. So I don't tend to do it, by myself a whole lot, but matter of fact,
that boogeyman out there too.
That's right. I always got a light on me. But I got thermal now. I should be able to see him, right?
Well, you can't see behind you all the time. You just never know what's sneaking up on
you. You made me lose my train of thought what I was talking about.
You just got scared.
Yeah. Oh, what I was going to say is, we're actually going, what is this? Wednesday. We're going Friday night. So me and a bunch of guys. So hopefully we pile some up, but,
well, see, that's like me. Ain't nobody want to hunt me. I gotta go out there by myself, trip around in the dark and fall down and land on my gun and trip over my tripod and all that crazy stuff. And I don't know. It's neat. I will say that. I'm still one of those guys. I mean, I got appreciation for it, and I appreciate I actually like the night season. I like it for other people more than I like it for me because it gives so much opportunity. There's a lot of guys that work so much. They work from daylight to dark. Might work. I know a lot of them will work 5 days a week. Some of them work 6 and even 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
So the opportunities they got to go hunting unless they want to take vacation, used to go at night. Yep. So I do have appreciation for it just because of the opportunity that it provides other people. And I feel like I deserve it or deserve. Got to watch how I word this, but we try to take our products. Part of my job is to take Foxpro stuff and apply it out there in the field and show guys and gals how they can be successful with it.
Right.
And, and I've been, driven to daytime stuff for so long, and that's what I catered to. But there's so many guys that will, what about nighttime this and nighttime that? And I'm always like, I'm not the guy to ask. And, I feel like just to give back to the predator community, I need to go out there and do some nighttime hunting.
Yeah.
I need to experience it. That way I can, if I can, because I'm learning it with just the same as other people. But I guess what I'm getting at is, I need to experience it myself. That way I can see what it's all about. And I've already made mistakes, trying to learn from them as quick as I can. And, when some people does ask me, needing some help, maybe I can help them out, because I don't know if I ever told you this, I'm not a numbers guy. I could care less. I want to kill coyotes.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I want to kill them, and I like killing a lot of coyotes. But, when it's all said and done, when somebody, I don't even care if you even think about me after I'm dead and gone, but I would rather somebody look back at John and not think about how many coyotes he killed, but think about how many coyotes he helped others kill, if that makes sense. I know it might sound sappy and stupid, but that's the truth. I could care less. I don't care if I kill, I won't kill coyotes. I ain't saying that, but that's not what it's about for me. I love the sport. I love the coyotes themselves. I don't hate them. I love the bobcats. I love the foxes, and I love the predator hunting community. And I want to give to it as much as I can. And I want to see people be successful.
Yeah.
So,
well, and there's a good kind of segue to that, because a lot of people rate their success on numbers. Because that's really not, to me, that's not success, in the predator field. It's great. I think it's great that guys killing, astronomical numbers. We're seeing numbers that we ain't never seen before.
Impressive stuff. I just seen, and I don't even know how many it was. The winning team of Clay Reed's Coyote Man Classic.
Yeah.
They sitting there in a line of hay bales. Hey,
Wesley Noel and his partner.
Yeah, boy, impressive stuff. So it's no, I got appreciation for it.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I don't want to kill 1,000 coyotes next year, but if I kill 50, I ain't heartbroken.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I kill 20, I ain't heartbroken. It ain't that big a deal. It's just coyotes.
But 50 is successful, in my opinion. You set out to to call in a coyote, and to me, that's what it's all about.
Well, I think I see people, because I get the questions weekly, daily. And the reason you get in the question because they're wanting to kill more coyotes. Maybe it's somebody trying to kill their first coyote. I think a lot of people get wrapped up in seeing the numbers.
Oh yeah, they do.
And they might be doing really good, and then see somebody else that's got way more coyotes than they've got, and way more ground, and way more opportunity to go than they've got.
Yeah.
And they're trying to compare themselves with not even a fraction of the ground. And they might be in a territory that just doesn't have the coyote density, and they don't even have a fraction of the time to go, and they don't realize that they don't have the opportunity to kill as many coyotes as that guy that they're looking up to.
Exactly.
And I'd like for these guys to, when they get into the sport, just be happy with what you're doing. Every coyote's earned. It don't matter if you're killing 1,000 of them or 10 of them or 1 of them a year. Right. It don't matter. Or even if you go and you're getting into it and you don't kill nothing, as long as you're getting out there and having a good time. Now, I don't know if there's going to be people that go out and don't kill no coyotes. It ain't no good time. Man, it's all about getting out there and living, dude. It's all about going out there and just experience it. I went this morning and didn't kill a thing. I didn't see a thing, but I had a good time. Now, by golly, I better kill something tomorrow morning when I go, though. I'm just saying, guys that's listening, don't get too hung up on the numbers. Don't get too hung up on the numbers, man. Just go out there and have fun and cherish everyone that you call in, because everyone that you call in is a treat, and you never know when it's going to be your last opportunity to go out there and do it. I just seen a fellow coyote hunter, just heard that he passed away. I don't know if he passed away today or yesterday. I just saw the news today, and it life's short, dude. Just Just,
Enjoy it.
enjoy it. Enjoy your time out there. Don't matter how many you kill them. Just go out there and have fun.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's there's so many different variables out there, and just like you said, you know, I've been on many fishing trips where I never caught a thing, but I
Oh,
still
yeah.
had a good time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I had a kid. I say a kid. I don't really know how old the guy is. He sent me a message a couple days ago. Same deal. Hey, we hunted all day Saturday and half a day Sunday. Just we made like 15 dry stands. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it happens. And I
Yeah.
said, it
Yeah.
you
Go
know
ahead. Go
it
ahead.
it happens to me too. I
Yeah.
told him, I said, you can't get discouraged about that, because you need to look at it like this. Well, you probably learned something in those 15 dry stands, even if you didn't call something in. But every dry stand you have is a stand closer to a call in. That's
That's
how I
right.
try to look at it.
It's a numbers game, and for a lot of those guys, to get those questions, um, they think they did something wrong because they
Yeah,
didn't call something in, and maybe they did do something wrong. It's hard
right,
to see. It's hard to see them just telling you what's happening, because you just gotta, everything's so situational, and without being there on stand with them to see what happened, it's hard to answer those questions.
exactly.
But what they don't realize, and I try to tell these guys this: you may have done every single thing right. You might have done everything right. There might just not have been no coyotes there. And it's hard for some people to believe, but every time you go call, does it mean that your sounds that you threw out there fell on a coyote or a bobcat or a fox's ears?
Right,
It don't always happen. Or it might have happened. They might have heard you calling, but they was way too far off to actually come. So
right.
you could have done every single thing right and had a stretch of dry stands. And you could go back out there the following week, make the same daggone stands, play the same daggone sounds, and absolutely pile them up, get tired of pulling the trigger and dragging them to the truck.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just part of it. Part of it's
Well,
dry stands. The best coyote hunters in the world make dry stands. Now I don't know whether no one of them make dry stands last week, but they make dry stands too.
oh, I'm sure they do. And something that you said in that, you've come out and hunted with me, I don't know what, probably 3 or 4 different times,
Yeah.
maybe over
Oh
the
yeah.
years. And it's probably been a couple years back. We had just a crap day. There wasn't hardly any wind, and I know my ground, and I know there's coyotes there. And I
Oh yeah.
remember I
Yeah.
remember saying to you, I'm like, gosh, John, I don't know what's going on. Like I even located a lot of this, and you're like, well, we may not be in front of them. And I thought about that a lot over the last couple of years. I'm like, at first I was like, no, I know we had coyotes in front of us. But I've
Man.
thought about that a lot over the years. And as much as those coyotes move around, and even though you think that much about your ground, and you don't think that, like, every situational part of that is like, well, those coyotes didn't move. All of them didn't move at one time.
Yeah.
Well, heck, they could have. You know,
Well, and sometimes they just don't come.
that's
They just
exactly
don't
right.
come.
They
There was a
just simply don't come.
I've told this story before on past stuff, and this was before I actually started working for Foxpro. I was doing a show called Tooth and Claw TV, in which I had a really good partnership with Foxpro, and
Yep.
we had Cody Hassinger from the office come down, and of course I always ran cameras and stuff, but we was going to film this for Foxpro. Cody was going to hunt. I was going to run the camera. We was hunting all my stuff right here around home. And this was right there in that middle of family bust up. I mean,
Good stuff.
last week, October. I mean, prime time. We caught 4 cows and he killed 1 in 3 days. And I'm talking about hit stuff. It was fresh,
Yep.
good stuff. And kind of, like you said, I don't know what's going on. I know he's on coyotes. Why they think, all this stuff. Well, he leaves out. I'm apologizing to him. I'm head hanging low. After a few days, I suck it up and I hollered at our old buddy David Reed.
Yep.
David.
Oh yeah.
I said, David, I said, I want to go call coyotes for 2 days straight. I need somebody to run the camera. We went back and made all those same stands We killed 9 coyotes on film in 2 days.
Just
Same
poleaxed them.
daggone stands. Same stands. Same they come. Oh man, it was great. And like I said, same stand, same type of sounds, same exact calling style. And the 1 week they wouldn't come, the next week you couldn't do no wrong. And when I was out there with you, and see, I was probably already thinking about going to Miller's, eat some ribs. Probably what I was thinking. I was thinking about seeing your aunt, whoever it was working the bar out there.
Old Dave, man, I'll never forget the look on his face. we better not tell that story on here, but
and she might be listening.
She might be. Yeah, that, or we'll get you out here for some more barbecue too. So
yeah, boy.
Yeah, we got a couple pretty good places here to eat, but man,
hey, that's one thing with me. If I ever come out and hunt with somebody, there's 3 things I'm looking forward to, and one of them is calling coyotes, one of them is eating good, and one of them's having a good time. I can't always say that the coyotes are going to come, but by golly, I'm going to eat good and we're going to have a good time. That is guaranteed.
It is guaranteed. Yeah, we've always had a good time, and it's been Bobcats is what struck up our friendship years ago.
Yeah.
And we've had a good time ever since, and I do appreciate your friendship. It's been a good one. So, but John, I've had you on here for close to an hour. You're probably ready. You're about the age you're probably ready to go to bed.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, probably. I don't know what time it is.
Oh, well, I'll let you get back to your evening. I really, really appreciate you jumping on Predator Pros tonight with me, and I hope you have a great time in Florida and a great time the rest of the season. And just can't thank you enough, old buddy.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate that. I can guarantee you I'll do my part, whether it's good or bad, but I will do my part when I'm on those trips.
Well, just in case we've got some new listeners that don't know who John Collins is, where can they find you at, and what do you do?
Well, said if you ain't heard it, he just said my name, but I'm John Collins. I'm a Kentucky boy. I've lived in the same county in a bluegrass state my entire life. I've hunted most of my life and have coyote hunted for at least half of it. And to make a long story short, I work for Foxpro Game Calls. I work in the marketing department. I'm the host of the Foxpro podcast. I'm a co-host of Foxpro Hunting TV and Foxpro Fur Takers. And that's what I do. Just like I said earlier, I try to take Foxpro products and show everybody how they can be successful with them out there in the field. And if you ever need any help with anything, just holler at me. You can find me somewhere. You can find me on my personal accounts, or you can find us at Foxpro_Inc. on TikTok and on Instagram, and Foxpro Inc. on Facebook. And I think it's Foxpro Inc. on YouTube as well, where you can, if you got a phone in your hand or a computer in front of you, you can find us. Just look up Foxpro and you'll be finding us pretty quick.
Yeah. And if you want to see some great content, guys, look it up. They got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We try anyway. We try.
Oh, no, you guys do a fantastic job at it. Some of the best content you'll ever watch. So, well, old buddy, I thank you. And we'll get you on here again when you ain't so busy. We'll get through this busy part of the year, and maybe we'll talk some summertime coyotes here before long.
Yes, sir. Maybe we can do one in person before long.
Yeah. Or maybe we can talk about some turkeys.
Hey, that sounds good. Hey, I like turkeys, buddy.
I like you do.
I like turkeys. I like turkeys.
Oh, speaking of which, just to give a little, I seen you was looking for maybe doing a Grand Slam this year.
I'd like to. The bird that has always eluded me was the Osceola. And just so happened I've got an Osceola hunt lined up with Jacob Mayfield, who I'll be coyote hunting with here in a week or two.
There you go.
And I'm just assuming I'm going to kill an Osceola with him. So,
well,
I've killed all the other birds, when I say all of the birds, I'm talking about just for the Grand Slam. You know, I've killed the Rio, I've killed Merriams, I've killed boatloads of Easterns. But this will be my first Osceola hunt. And I just where I've got that opportunity, I was thinking like, man, you know what? I've always thought it was so cool seeing these guys do these, you know, single season Grand Slams. And I'm like, man, this might be my only opportunity. So I've got places to, of course, to hunt Easterns. I got the Osceola lined up. My brother lives out west, so I can go out there and hang out with him and find me a Merriam's, which I've done many times in the past. But that Rio is a little bit tougher for me to come up with. I've killed Rios in the past. Used to go to Kansas kill, but now you got a draw tag in Kansas.
Got to draw,
so you know, so it's still kind of that missing puzzle piece. I got some leads, but hopefully everything will fall. Which I still got to kill the birds, even if I get it lined up. I still got to kill them. We'll see what happens.
Well, what I know about John is you're equally as good a turkey hunter as you are a predator hunter. So I think you'll stand a good chance.
I'm actually probably a better turkey hunter, to be honest.
I don't know about that.
But I ain't gonna say I'm the better turkey caller, but I can hunt a turkey, that's for sure. Or at least I can put people on them. I might have to depend on somebody else to put me on a couple of these birds, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully I get it done. It's a goal. It's a goal of mine. It'd be cool to make it happen. So
well, I hope you make it happen, buddy. Yeah, for sure.
Looking forward to attempting anyway.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm going to let you get to your evening, John. Thank you so much again. And everybody, we'll catch you next time on the Eastman's Predator Pro podcast.